Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial and health, medicine, wellness, and future technologies. That's right, guys. Today is going to be an amazing show. We have the one, the only Dr. Deep Sea on the show. You got to take a second right now. I don't care if you're driving, flying, riding. You need to Google Dr. Deep Sea. That's all you got to do. And get ready for today's show. We've had him on once before, maybe twice before, actually. A couple times. But let me tell you, today is going to be special because when I busted this clavicle, I called up Dr. Deep Sea and I was like, Joe, I need some advice. Could Hyperbarics help me? I am not an elite athlete. I am an elite lender. And I'm wondering, could you cure me faster so I can get back in the field and do more throwing touchdowns for loans? And Dr. Deep Sea said, yes, Hyperbarics work, Frank. And so does red light therapy. And so do a lot of other amazing new technologies. We are not practicing old school over here. We are getting into the real world of these performance enhancing medicines?
Yeah.
Could it be? Welcome to the show, Dr. Deep Sea. Joe, welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it. It's great to be back.
Yeah, we love having you on. And
Yes.
he's so quiet and just calm, right? It's like, I love it. And Sen, welcome back.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Always good to be here.
It's like she's here every week. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a great show. As you guys see, I'm still in the sling from the separated clavicle, and I'm being dead serious. I brought Joe on here today to talk about the benefits of hyperbaric treatments when it comes to medicine, bones, ligaments, all kinds of things. And this is not Michael Jackson technology, guys. Let me tell you, it's come a long way. I got introduced to some of these chambers after this injury, and I'll be honest, but it was going to be my first time going in one about a week ago. And I was scared. I called Dr. Joe before I went to the place, and I was like, "Hey, I'm just curious. I'm like, is this thing going to be like claustrophobic? Because I'm not good. I'm a little claustrophobic. I thought it was going to be like a tube in the movies, right?" He's like, "No, when you get over there, don't worry. They've got really, really different ones nowadays. It's like futuristic. If you guys saw my Facebook post, it's like a." I don't know how to describe it. It's like a big wheel, basically.
They are incredible. That company, HPO Tech, is basically taking state of the art and moving it into the art of the possible. I mean, because nobody wants the old school. Nobody wants that old school way of doing things. Everybody likes the newer, better technologies. And, if you can do it and it's within the realm of physical safety, then it's perfectly fine to do.
Right.
So,
And we want to talk about safety today, too.
100%.
So on the show, we've got a great show for you. We're going to be talking about hyperbarics and medicine. We're going to be talking about Joe's new position with Arizona State. That's going to be really exciting. Apparently, they're in tune with hyperbarics, so they wanted one of the best out there. So now we've got Joe going that way. We're going to talk about the future and wellness. We're going to talk about safety and explosions because sadly, there were 2 incidences already here recently.
This year?
This year alone, which this year is kind of short.
Last year.
Well,
last year.
last year.
Sorry.
I'm not writing 26 yet. I still am writing 25. I don't know about
did
you
that
guys.
this morning. I made a mistake on the check.
Yeah, it's, checks, that could be a problem. But we're going to talk about that and how do you avoid that? How do you not blow yourself up in a hyperbaric chamber? And then we also are going to talk about investing in this medicine because Joe actually has some potential investment opportunities for you guys. If you, maybe you own a clinic, maybe you own a spa, maybe you're a physician and you believe in this type of thing and you want to get into this, well, there's nobody better probably in the entire Southeast United States besides the guy who's sitting right here in our studio. So we're going to ask him some questions. And if you are interested, I'm interested. I'll tell you right now, I've talked to Joe about it. I'm very interested in the finance side of them. I'm interested in the monetary side and helping people.
Right.
And I'll tell you, of the couple treatments I've had, I actually notice a difference.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And it was not as scary as I thought. I literally thought I was going to freak out, like inside some sort of enclosure, because you are in there. But we'll talk about how it works here when we get over in a minute.
Yeah, good, because I imagine the whole, like you said.
The tube.
Yeah, tube.
Right?
You're just,
Scary. No. Those are the days gone by,
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, because, well, actually, we'll get to it in a second. But I want to ask about your career a little bit. Because people need to know, like, where did you come from? How did you get into this?
Short version.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Tell us the short version.
28 years as a U.S. Navy diver. Upon retirement, I decided to try and help our boys who were having traumatic brain injury. So I went back to school. I got a PhD in biomedical engineering. So I'm a PhD, not an MD. Any advice that I'm giving is not medical in nature whatsoever. I don't have a medical opinion. I have an educated opinion, just FYI.
Sometimes those are better.
But the point being that, look, man, we got to get this knowledge out there that things are safe and things have changed. So, and when I did that, I continued along. I got my own traumatic brain injury, which you recall from earlier show. I got T-boned in my 1947 Chevy. And then I stumbled upon what I believe to be a cure, certainly a partial cure for traumatic brain injury. And then I took an assistant vice president job at the University of South Florida, where I was helping with the largest clinical trial in hyperbaric medicine history. So I'm a real scientist. And look, science wins over bullshit every time. So can I say that? Whoops. Sorry.
Well, we'll fix that. That's okay. You get one.
Yeah, my bad. I said my bad. So, but science does win, right? So I want to make sure that people know the mechanism of action. Is hyperbaric medicine going to help your toenail fungus? Well, no, there's no evidence of that. But is it an anti-inflammatory? Is it a powerful neurogenesis creator? Yeah. So if you can do those kind of things, perhaps you can help with traumatic brain injury. So that kind of thing.
Well, you healed yourself.
And that's the thing I did. I did heal myself. I went from having an 8mm hemorrhagic stroke, prefrontal cortex, left side, which is just a really big block in my brain on the left side. But it's the executive function side. So I was sitting at my table, literally crying on a daily basis. And my staff sent me home. They're like, you can't be here. You're scaring all the other people in the office. Like, you just go home.
Yeah.
So, crying, anger, shift, like that pedantic sort of a behavior.
Yeah.
And some people in my life still say I have a little bit of that, but I'm working on it. But and I wound up curing myself of this by doing an intensive outpatient protocol. So I took that assistant vice president job at the University of South Florida. I helped with the largest clinical trial in hyperbaric medicine history, and then when I'm done with that, then I resigned from that in December of last year, and I started with Arizona State University on Team HealthSpan, because this is all about helping the human get to the next level. I believe we can live to 110. That's my purpose in life at this point, and it can be naturally. It can be without drugs. It can be without chemicals. It can be in a natural state. We're made to develop and evolve, and this is the next evolution of people.
Man. Sen, I'll let you go for
baby.
that one.
I'm
Look
58
at that.
years old, for crying out loud.
He looks damn good. You can say that. Damn good.
Damn.
But yeah, you look amazing for 58, and and I know there's some other things that you do. Do you eat well? I mean, are you pretty religious? Be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty religious when it comes to food. I try and keep the plastics out of my diet and my life. That's because I have a wonderful person in my life who pushes me in that direction. Thank you, baby.
Yes. Good job, Michelle.
Yeah. So, we're trying to change the world, and it starts with you, because if you don't live what you do,
right.
I tell people all the time, and you did it this morning. I said, gym has to start with a G in your life, right? You have to go to the gym. It's an everyday occurrence. So train like you fight like you train, and you're not going to follow me unless I actually do this stuff.
Right.
So I do all the things that I'm talking about, and it's not biohacking. It's literally just health optimizing, and that's the key here, right?
Yeah.
We're looking to hyperbaric oxygen won't cure anything, but it'll help your body heal itself. That's the key point.
That's really it. It's not like it's putting something in you or something like that. It's assisting the mechanisms we already have. just like sleep, just like eating good, things like that.
100%.
Well, you look great, so
thank you.
It's
Keep
working
going.
for you, yeah.
Hey, all right.
Yeah. So let's kind of so now we have a little bit of a background on Joe. Let's talk about hyperbarics. Like, Joe, how long has this been around? Like, is this something brand new?
No, hyperbarics has been around since 1664 when Henshaw was the first guy to. No, really,
What?
1664.
I thought you misspoke. I'm like,
No,
what,
no, 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 no.
1664?
No, 1664. We are talking coming on 400 years, right?
What?
Of this thing being a modality, right? And first it was used for some stomach, being able to metabolize things better. And then we knew it for diving and decompression sickness and arterial gas embolism. So all those are known things that we can do, but all that was off-label at one point. So slowly but surely over the past 400 friggin' years, we've brought things on label. So now there are 15 things that are on label treatment. So what's the difference between on label and off label?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, it's a pay thing, right? Your show's all about the money. This is all about the money. Who's going to pay you for it? So if you have gaseous gangrene, carbon monoxide poisoning, crush injury, compartment syndrome,
Separated clavicle.
yeah, well, no. Separated clavicle is off label.
Dang it.
No. But what I teach when I teach medical school, and I teach this at medical school, I'm teaching them the mechanisms of action. Every single drug, and by the way, hyperbaric oxygen is considered a drug by the USP. So the U.S. Pharmacopoeia says it's a drug and needs a prescription from a physician. That's why you had to go get a prescription, right?
Correct.
So you got the prescription and then you get your treatment, but it's treatment according to the mechanisms of action, just like every other drug out there. A non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, that reduces inflammation. Hyperbaric oxygen, that reduces inflammation, right? So they both do the same damn thing. One does it better and without putting any drugs in your body that are, let's be realistic. Let's talk about the fact that it is a drug, but realistically, the trees would be locked up because they prescribe it every damn day.
That is a great point. Exactly. So with that, on that wonderful point that is it a drug? Is it not a drug? I will tell you, it works like a drug. It works great, and I feel great. We're going to take a break here on the Business Happy Hour. Be back with Dr. Deep Sea and Senia from Mahar & Associates in just a minute. Stay tuned. All right, 30 seconds it is, sir.
Cool.
That was great.
Yeah.
Great first segment.
Sorry.
You're so good at this.
I forgot, I know, right? I forgot to say no cursing. But that's okay. But don't forget, when we're on break, we're still on Instagram Live. So.
Wow. I said my bad.
Be like me and take your phone into the bathroom one day.
Oh,
on
don't do
Instagram
that.
Well, on Instagram Live, we can curse, right?
Yeah. Oh, we can say whatever we want on Instagram Live. That's exactly
I'm
right.
just impressed that you went to the bathroom in 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. And he does his little breaks. I'm like,
Well,
okay.
he gives me a minute sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I'm like, and then I literally had my phone and I walked in. I was like, uh-oh. I got to put this back. Man. So, okay. So we're doing good on that. I'm going to ask you, just to give you a prep, I'm going to ask you a question about concussions and CRT and whatnot. Could like you were talking about brain injury, these athletes that are getting concussions and whatnot. Do you think they would?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to ask you about
let's
that.
talk that.
Okay. All right. Let's fire it.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Senia Kishina.
All right, guys, we won't waste any time. We are in studio with Dr. Deep Sea over here, Joe DeTuri. You guys got to look that up, by the way. Go online right now and just Google Dr. Deep Sea. He's so damn modest, but this guy is choking. He's choking on water. Speaking of water, he lived 100 days underwater in I'm going to call it a habitat. I mean, like, okay, and I know you did this for science and all that, and you were I think you told me you were at the same atmospheres that people go into in the hyperbaric chamber?
Yeah, and most of it was to just tell people the mechanisms of action of hyperbaric medicine. So I displayed that on my own body for 100 days.
How did your body react to that?
Every single inflammatory marker in my body was cut in half. I had a doubling of every single inflammatory marker that was good, right? Wow. So every single one was cut in half, but the pro-inflammatory cytokines were doubled. It's crazy. I doubled my deep and REM sleep. Usually you sleep between 30 and 33% in deep and REM. I slept between 60 to 66% in deep and REM, right? Look, 70 million Americans alone suffer from sleep problems. If you got a sleep problem, I'm not saying it's on label. I'm just telling you what happened.
Right.
I increased my telomeres telomere length by 17%. Telomeres are how many times you can do that chromosome replication, mRNA to DNA transcription thing, right? To make your cells
Makes you live longer.
Right,
no?
right. And if you lengthen those telomeres, it makes you able to replicate that cell more. That's it. It is the anti-aging sort of a thing. It's been proven for anti-aging, but that's part of the new position at Arizona State University.
Okay. I was going to ask him, like, what was the reason to go to Arizona State? It's because their focus has a different focus.
Their focus is on health span. So, right, it's not about lifespan, because lifespan's just not going to cut it. I can be incontinent and 100 years old and not have any brains whatsoever and be a drooling idiot and somebody be on life support. That's not what we need. We need health spans. So with that, you need a lot of things. You need the gym. You need autophagy. You need a mindset that is unparalleled, right? You need constant, never-ending improvement, as my friend Daryl used to say, canai, right? This is the thing that you got to keep pushing, keep driving, right? But you also need those telomeres. That's the basis of it all. If those telomeres run out, when they run out, that is cellular senescence. You're done. There is no more replication of cells. You die.
Wow.
Yeah.
And people are measuring telomeres now, right?
Yeah,
That's a thing.
We measure telomeres, yep.
And I mean, you've obviously had yours measured many times. Did they go back after you came out of the chamber, or does it?
No, they don't go back. So basically what happens is if you have an increase or a doubling or a percentage increase, it stays with you until you use it. And then one time you use it, you use a little more, you use a little more, you use a little more. It's like the shoestring on the end of that little plastic tip on the end of a shoestring. Imagine that being eaten up a little bit every time you replicate it. And when you do that, and when you get down to the short hairs, it stops replicating correctly, and then
that is so interesting.
Yeah.
But you're going to be the guy at 110 here with, looking like this and all your brain function.
Well, when he's 110, I'll be a 99. So I'm hoping he's going to help me get to 120, and tell me the secret at the end. But so these telomeres, not to dwell too much on this, but you have, I guess, you've got so much you can add to them. Are there things that people can do to themselves to speed up their degradation?
Oh, absolutely. So you want to really hurt yourself? Sit in ionizing radiation. You want to really hurt yourself? Drink alcohol on a regular basis. I mean, look, I am not a teetotaler. You know me long enough to know that I'm not a teetotaler. Every once in a while, I imbibe. Yeah. But there's balance in there,
of
right?
Course.
You got to have that balance, right? So I eat healthily, 80-20 sort of a rule, right? Like sometimes I go out and I'm just like, look, I need a drink and I'm going to have a drink and that's that. And guess what? They have peanut butter cookies.
Yeah.
I got a thing for peanut butter cookies, man, like you wouldn't believe.
I love it. Okay. All right. So, and I think we should, we're going to have him on another show. Hopefully he'll grace us with his presence in the next couple of weeks as well. And maybe that show we can focus strictly on anti-aging.
Sure.
Because I think, I could go down a rabbit hole with you on the telomeres thing, and that'll give you a little bit of time to research it as well. And
100%.
And then, Sen, will you live to 110 with me?
I'll try, but I think only if I'm doing all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So
but you know a guy.
But I know a guy. There you go.
Exactly. So the 100 days, that was awesome. Let's we know why you're going to Arizona State, which I am really excited to hear this journey, because I mean the whole thing about living forever. So I can't wait. Yeah. So we'll do another show on that one. Let's talk about, how does hyperbaric help healing? You hear about athletes using it. Right. I read about LeBron James using it yesterday. Obviously now I'm using it.
Right.
I feel better. I actually feel like when you get out of the chamber, I wouldn't say like a euphoric feeling, but you feel oxygenated. I don't know. You feel well.
So here's the big problem. I can't publish things like I feel better.
Yeah.
We got to have objective quality evidence, because I'm a scientist first, right? So we want to make sure that we have the objective quality information so that we can give it to the public, right? So when you get in there, we know it does a bunch of things. We know it increases a process known as neurogenesis, which is the growing of synaptic pathways, if you will. The other thing is it increases angiogenesis. So in your case, angiogenesis through vascular endothelial growth factor, that grows new blood vessels.
Okay.
So you're having a problem getting oxygen to your wound area because you're suffering from a local hypoxia because you destroyed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So we create angiogenesis, which grows new blood vessels that can help fill the oxygen to that space, right? So we're paying off that oxygen debt. We're reducing inflammation. We know it does that. We're reducing toxins, right? One thing that this is exceptionally good at is toxin inhibition. Hyperbaric oxygen can help you with that. So if you have some sort of toxin, we use it on label for carbon monoxide, which is a clear toxin, right?
Right.
Gaseous gangrene, a clear toxin, right? Clostridium. There are a whole bunch of them that we use it for that are all on label. But does it work for mold? Well, it's simple to make an application process here. I'm not an MD, but make an application process. Toxin inhibition. Mold is a toxin, therefore, quid pro quo, res ipsa loquitur.
You're bringing me back to my SAT days over here. Right,
it's deductive reasoning, and I don't want people to say hyperbarics cures anything.
Right.
I want them to say that it helps the body to put it in the right frame to heal itself. Your body wants to heal. We have an immune system that used to get chased by saber-toothed tigers. We don't. What's the worst problem you had today, right? Like somebody didn't like my Instagram post right here. Like, come on. That's probably the worst thing that I've had. I have food, clothing, and shelter. What else do I have to worry about, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Tying a shoe with a hurt left arm.
Yeah.
That's about it. I'm like, this sucks. That's bad part of my day.
Right.
But, yeah. Okay, so we're taking another break here. When we get back, we're going to jump into safety of hyperbaric chambers because if you Google it, I'll warn you, there's a couple stories out there. But Dr. Deep Sea, Joe, he's going to tell us it is a lot safer than you think it is. And so far, I have not blown up, so I'm good. We'll be back in just a minute. Oh, man. All right, so that's the second segment. And what I was saying to you there is get a little closer to your mic.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, you can move the mic. Move it to you. Get comfortable, whatever you like. But you sound great because your voice is strong.
Yeah.
Like some people have a weak voice, and if they do that, like you can't hear crap.
Okay.
But now you sound like really
so,
good.
la-di-dodi, we like to party.
We like to party.
We don't cause trouble. We don't bother nobody well.
Just a couple doctors on the mic. All right, rock and roll, Verlander.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Ksenia Akishina, realtor with Mahara & Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Ksenia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back. I just had to put a little post on our Instagram thing. I said, hey, you boys who are watching better listen up to the future of medicine right here. We've got a bunch of super smart high schoolers who will tune in every once in a while. My son goes to Jesuit. And,
I love that.
Yeah, they sneak away on their phones, and hopefully the administration isn't listening right now. But anyway, and they love watching the show. So I said, hey, you boys pay attention to the future of medicine. And there you go. Good job, Tyler. That's it. There, you go tell your teacher you learned something that he's not teaching you today. That's right. You tell him, Dr. Deep Sea, look it up in class. Anyway, I don't get in trouble. But all right, guys. All right, safety of hyperbarics. All right. Again, I was scared. Joe, yeah. I was scared. I texted you before I went over there, and I was like, I'm claustrophobic. I'm like, that was my scare. I guess I didn't really think about the whole spark and you blow up. And when I got there, the facility, they're like, take off your metal, no batteries. That was a big thing. They say no batteries and whatnot. And I trusted the people, so I said, okay, but can you tell us, are they dangerous?
No, look, in a 102-year exhaustive study of all of hyperbaric medicine, we're talking tens of millions of treatments worldwide, we have found that less than 150 people have died in 102 years. Now, look. One person is not, right. One person's way too much, right? But 102 years, 150 people,
right.
That says a great safety record compared to, chemo or,
COVID vaccine.
Non-steroidal anti-inflammatories or even, Tylenol for crying out loud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of badness there, but this is actually pretty good stuff. So it's an inherently safe device. And here's an interesting point. If you look at the bottle of oxygen, look at any bottle of oxygen, it says colorless odorless, non-flammable gas. It says it right on the neck. Oxygen's not flammable.
Wait, what?
It is not, right? It's a misconception. But oxygen is an accelerant, so it will lower the burning point of anything in the room. Right?
Okay.
So we're settled at 21% or so oxygen in our wonderful environment that we call an atmosphere, right? Mm-hmm. If I increase that oxygen concentration or there's more trees, then all of a sudden it's putting out more oxygen. We have 30% oxygen. 30% oxygen, spontaneous combustion occurs at 30%, right? So that's why our atmosphere is at 21% oxygen, for crying out loud. It's an evolutionary thing. We started with nothing, zero oxygen, and then it started building, and then it went high, and then it got reduced to low. So we're at an equilibrium right now, and it's kind of sort of a cool thing.
Wow. So how do these machines explode then? How do these people get burned?
Well, so it is completely everything since 1974 has been attributable to operator error. Because now that's how you know you were at a reputable facility. When they said, hey, take everything out of your pocket, nothing in your pockets that nothing on your body you weren't born with, no watches, no wallets, no knives, no guns, no phones, no electricity, no that kind of stuff. All that stuff needs to be outlawed. And you got to check because, look, man, if you reach in your pocket right now, what do you got? You probably got dryer lint.
Yeah.
Any of you guys hunt?
Yeah, I hunt.
Anybody that hunts, right? You know that you could start fire with dryer lint.
You are dang right.
You don't want that stuff in your pocket, right? So just keeping these inherently safe devices safe is the job of the operator and the job of the prescribing physician. So the physician has a responsibility, so does the operator. And when you walk into a place, you should be looking for a red book. You walk in there and go, do you have a red book? And they go, yep, here it is. That's the facility you want to get treated in. Somebody that's been treated, that's been trained by somebody reputable, like the International Board of Undersea Medicine, something like that, right? I mean, I'm not saying that there are several organizations out there, but find somebody that's reputable because if they're well trained, they will absolutely be taking care of you the right way. And then you'll know, look, it's an inherently safe device and there won't be a problem.
Well, for context, because I actually didn't know this, I didn't hear about the 2 accidents last year.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
So unfortunately, I want to say in the beginning of the year last year, a little boy was being treated and he was not grounded. So when you're in 100% oxygen environment, you need that grounding strap so that static electricity, right? Static electricity becomes a problem, especially in Michigan in the winter time. And certainly the boy was rolling from left to right in the chamber. And unfortunately, a spark ignited his clothing. But what did the operator do wrong? Did not ground him. Also did not make sure he took off all of the things that he wasn't supposed to have in there. That producing pajama that is not 100% cotton environment, you got to take all that junk off, especially in a 100% oxygen environment. Now, that was more of a medical treatment. So then fast forward to somebody out in Lake Havasu in Arizona, and this particular provider, he was a provider treating himself. Unfortunately, he took electrical devices in there is what we believe. I don't know that for sure. We believe from the news reports that he took as many as 3 or 4 electrical devices, including a phone in there.
Oh.
But we don't know. Again, that's pretty.
And what happens?
You would think somebody doing that, would know not to.
And unfortunately, both of those incidents caused a catastrophic event, which took the temperature and the pressure and brought it all the way up to 10 atmospheres, because you're being treated at probably 1 or 2 atmospheres. Immediately, within 2.2 seconds, took the chamber to 10 atmospheres. It vented, the chamber vented, which is what it's supposed to do. Both of those chambers held. They didn't explode, but the internal contents of them were burned. And unfortunately, we are fuel. As humans, we are fuel. So it is quite unfortunate, but this is why you have to go to a reputable place that knows what they're doing, that won't be leaking oxygen, that won't be letting you sneak stuff in there. I mean, every single accident is attributable to somebody. One accident in Italy, some guy snuck a bun warmer in there, and he didn't even sneak it. It was an accident. You guys know what a bun warmer is, right?
No, what's a
what is a bun warmer?
My grandfather had one of these. It's a Zippo lighter that you strike, and then you cover it, and it's got a whole bunch of holes in the cap.
I've seen one of these.
Right. It's an open flame, but there's holes in the cap. And my grandfather used to put it in his back pocket. And this is grandpa's bum warmer. I have no idea. Right. So he put one of those in a hyperbaric chamber. Does that sound like a good idea? Oh, my gosh. Right. And somebody in Brazil and Japan, they took their iWatch in there, and it's like, oh, it's just a small battery. I'm like, yeah, a small battery in a confined space. Pressure, volume, temperature, those are so closely interrelated that if the temperature goes up through a fire, the pressure goes up. Oh, now you're in trouble, right?
Oh, dang.
Yeah,
so Frank, what did you wear? Like what? I guess
I
you just
wore-
undress
I-
or you just
I
certain
wore
clothing?
Regular clothes.
Okay.
We checked my pockets. We took everything off. I wore a pair of jeans and a t-shirt.
So
and a
jeans are
sweatshirt.
okay if there's like little metal things in them? Because I'd be freaked out. Even
Yeah.
earrings, all the jewelry would have to come
realistically, in a 100% oxygen chamber, you are not allowed to have anything on that you weren't born with, right? And I will give you an all-cotton gown. That's in a 100% oxygen chamber. In an air-based chamber that you have oxygen around your mask here, that is a little more forgiving. You can wear almost street clothes in there, but they should be cotton. They should be lint-free. They should be, you shouldn't have shoes, nothing with oil on the bottom of them, that kind of stuff. The problem with pockets, like I said, is it's not the pocket itself, it's what's in the pocket, right? Because little kids have, lighters, knives, frogs. What do you have in your pocket, right?
I was thinking frogs, actually, when he said that. Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to have a frog in my pocket.
I had lizards. I was a lizard guy,
Oh, God. No.
So that's different. So some of these chambers, they don't put the mask on you. They just pump the oxygen into the chamber.
And those are really comfortable because you don't have any kind of a mask on
Right.
you, and that's great. But those are generally in hospitals. So I used to have chambers like that at the University of South Florida. They still have chambers like that, but those are the same chambers that they were using 60, 70, 80 years ago. Oh. You want to invent something new, do it better, right? And the new ones, like I said, that new company, that company that's putting stuff out, I don't have stock of them. I don't own them. I don't know anything. They're just, they are a company. But I see the safety design and analysis that goes into them. For instance, the standard says it can't have greater than 23.5% oxygen in there. And if it does, you have to ventilate the chamber, which means put more air in and take more air out, right? No problem. These things automatically do it themselves at 22% oxygen. So they don't even get, right? So it's like built-in safety. That's exactly what we're looking for in whatever you got. Now everybody's like, well, what's the difference between that and the $50,000 Gary Brecker chamber? First of all, Gary, don't get me started. He's killing me over here. I'm dying, literally. But if you have a chamber that's not $100,000, these are the chambers that I literally have pictures of I have pictures of these things, basically the window shattering or
Oh my God.
Well, these things that come from China that are made to no standard whatsoever, or they come from Japan or they come from Korea, they're great reputable countries. However, their design is not quite as good as it is in the United States. And we have a certain standard. That standard is ASME PVHO, the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Pressure Vessels for Human Occupancy. So you really need that kind of a standard behind you. But that company, HPO Tech, they're 160, 170, 200,000. I don't know what the price is. I don't care.
Yeah.
For me, what's your life worth?
You're exactly right.
I saved $40,000 on this chamber. I'm like, okay, good.
It doesn't sound
I hope
smart.
that window doesn't blow out.
No. So that's interesting. So I didn't know that when I went in the chambers is the oxygen is only coming through the mask. It's not really in the chamber. So that itself is going to be way safer because now I'm not in a 100% oxygen environment when any spark's going to blow me up.
Yep.
Right, which I assume a spark's probably not good. But then the pressure forces that oxygen into my cells.
Right.
Because I'm breathing it in. Yep. With that, mull on that, guys. And what you should do is you should Google Dr. Deep Sea right now, and you get to see his journey at the bottom. By the way, while we have 10 seconds, where was that capsule or that
in South Florida, in Key Largo, Florida.
Key Largo, Florida. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that a little more. And when we have him on the next show, we're talking about how to live to 110. I'm going to make it to 115, so we're going to challenge this guy. We'll be back in the Business Happy Hour in just a minute with Dr. Deep Sea, and next week we'll talk real estate because this is way more fun.
Yes.
All right, another 30 seconds he's giving us. Last segment. All right. We should touch, and this is an 7-minute segment.
Yeah.
We should hit PED and then investing.
I want to know red light, though.
Oh, red light. Okay.
How about PED and red light, and we'll save investing for.
You want to do that? Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. I want to cover red light because red light's important.
Okay. All right. Then we'll do that. All right. How about you ask about red light?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Fire us.
let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. Last segment of the show is going so fast because we're having so much fun. Hope you boys over there at school are enjoying this, learning something today. Go tell your biology teacher, by the way. So a couple things we want to talk about, but before we get into this, I know, Sen, you had a question about one of these new technologies. I do want to mention that if you are interested in investing in hyperbarics, or you even want to have a conversation about it, maybe you want to get with Joe and do something special with it, maybe you had experiences in them, please reach out. Go to drdeepsea.com. I've said Dr. Deep Sea 20 times. You can find him. Trust me. He is local here in Tampa. If not, reach out to me. You've got all my contact information, and I will get you in front of Joe, and we'll talk some investments and what you can do. Sen, what was your question?
Well, since we're running low on time, I know you said something about red light.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what, I've heard red light and all kinds of different avenues. I just got a mask, but...
Yeah, so red light's pretty straightforward. It's what you're looking for. What all these devices are trying for is something called fibroblast proliferation. So you're trying to basically bring blood to this area, and collagen synthesis. So you're synthesizing collagen, and every single cell in your body is made of collagen. So these red lights, actually, some of them, if they have the right frequency, can work to develop that. One works so well for me. So I'm at a conference, I'm doing a lecture, and I'm walking down the hallway, and I'm doing this, right? And one of the booths, there's a guy who's got a red light sales place. And I'm like, usually I go like this when I walk by them. I don't want to hear. And he's like, Doc, you got 7 minutes. I'm like, well, that's an oddly specific amount of time. Yes, I have 7 minutes for, between now and the time I talk. So I did it. I sat down for 7 minutes. He's talking to me about what's happening and how your cells are doing. And I'm like, I know all the cellular physiology. Trust me, I get it. It's not going to work. And then I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Oh, all right. Then I go, okay, how much is it? And he goes, $8,000. I said, I'll take one. It was that good, right? And they don't give me any money for saying it, and I won't even say the name of the thing. It doesn't matter. But some of them work great. Some of them are made in the same place in China, like every other one, right?
Wow.
So you got to kind of fish through all that BS. And once again, I paid $8,000 for this little teeny one like this, right? Out of pocket instantly on just a whim because it worked that well. So some of them work. You just got to find the right ones.
Okay, I'm going to ask you then which the right ones are.
I'll try and help.
I have his in my car right now. He let me borrow it. And can I say this?
Yeah, you say it. I don't care.
Works.
Yeah.
I'm just like Joe, skeptic. Walk past the booth. You got to prove it to me. Like in the mall, and they put that tightening crap on you. Or whatever.
Science wins, right?
I couldn't believe it. And my wife used it last night. And she was literally like upset. She's like, I should have taken a before picture because girls use it, and you do too, and I guess I will too, for like your face too. It gets rid of like micro wrinkles and things like that. And she did her 7 minutes and followed the little instruction. And she's like, look at my forehead. She's like, the wrinkles in the middle are gone. Yep. She's like, I don't understand this. And then she started really researching it.
Just like off the one use? Is it like a wand?
Yeah, it's a wand. That one particularly is a wand. And the beautiful thing about that one is a varying frequency, right?
That's what you told me.
And that's the patent on that for them, right? Not for me. I don't get it. But if you're in a big depth spot, like your chest where there's a lot of meat, then it'll go deeper. If it's shallow, like up here on the head, it'll go shallow. And it'll bounce off the forehead, right? So you have to use this the right way. You have to know what you're doing, talk through it with somebody, whoever you're buying it from. But, some of them work exceptionally well from my own anecdotal reference.
Okay. So not a fad, but you have to have the right one.
Yeah, you have to.
Try the $8,000 one.
Right. Well, okay. So put you on the spot on this, but my wife's med spa she goes to, they're like, oh, they've got like a whole bed you can lay in is one. And then they have one that they're trying to sell to people, but it's only like $375. And I'm like, honey, Joe was telling me like it has to do with the frequencies. How does somebody know?
Yeah.
Is there a way? I mean, I know 350 ain't going to work.
So first of all, I'm looking to science the stuff out of this thing.
Right.
I want to make sure that everybody understands it. So what I'm doing is a mitochondrial function test on top of the red light. So we do the mitochondrial function test first. Then I do a couple of different red light tests in a couple of different red light beds. And then we do the mitochondrial functional test afterwards. And it'll tell you whether it's improving mitochondrial function or not. That's the whole claim, right? The whole claim is that it's helping you heal better, heal faster by bringing blood, by activating mitochondria. That's what it's supposed to be doing.
Like cells replicate or whatever.
We're now going to test it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got to test them.
Yeah, that's it. Science wins, right?
Wow. So, I mean, the idea is you're probably going to have to spend a few dollars if you want one that works, right?
Look, if my feeling is you have nothing better to invest in than yourself. If you're going to invest in anything, invest in you. Right? Everything else, forget it, right? And I'm not looking for investors in Joe. I'm looking for investors in that future of that wellness center that needs to happen, right? That wellness center of everything, right? Because it's a combination of things that's going to help us get to 110, not one thing. And that's what I learned when I had my TBI. It's not just one thing. It's everything.
All right. So the red light, it works. By the way, I followed what Joe said, what worked for him. Yeah. And I did a little treatment yesterday afternoon, another one last night, another one this morning. I actually woke up this morning and I told my wife, I was like, this is scary. I was like, my arm feels, and when I ran into Joe in the radio station hallway, he's like, you're not wearing your sling. I was like, well, I took it off for a little bit. I don't want to hurt myself, but I was impressed, very, very impressed. And I'm not telling everybody to go spend $8,000, but I'm going to tell you it did something, and then the whole face thing, Now, I assume it's like you told me earlier, it's all moderation. You can't use them every day, right?
No. You can't use any of this stuff every day. Like 2 hyperbarics every day, too much. You can't do it. You shouldn't do it. You don't want to do it, right? Yeah. But you want to do it in a blast at a period of time over, like, let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Okay. You get that anti-inflammatory effect. You get that vascular endothelial growth factor. You get all those toxins being inhibited. You get that, and that is no kidding. It happens. But if you do it every day, when I stayed underwater for 100 days, I exposed myself too much. And what happened was I reduced the number of red blood cells I had.
You answered a question I was going to ask you, and we had moved on. So there can be a little too much to this.
There is
too much.
Absolutely. You need to know that, right? So more is not always better, guys.
Yeah. So what's the regimen for Frank now? Are you doing it like once a week, twice a week?
I'm doing it for about a week or so, but I think you probably need to do it a little bit longer,
Okay.
But Joe, what's a typical, we got 1 minute. What's a typical regimen for trying to heal an injury?
2 weeks or so is what you're looking at. Okay. And if you can get it done beforehand, that would be better. So if you're going in for plastic surgery, do 2 or 3 treatments before and then afterwards. That's what we see is the most beneficial.
So next time I go skiing, I'm going to do it a couple days ahead, and then I'm going to decide which day I'm going to injure myself.
Oh, my God.
Don't take. Anyway, Joe, it's been great having you on the show.
My pleasure.
Absolutely. And we're going to look at your schedule immediately today, because the next show we are going to talk about living forever.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And by forever, I mean about $110.
Yeah.
It'll be a great show. Sen, thanks today. Great questions.
Thank you, Dr. Detroit.
Yes.
Oh, man. No, so interesting.
Joe.
So much info.
Oh, good. Anytime you need it, you got a direct dial.
Yes, absolutely. And Dr. Deep Sea, guys, please look him up, like and share, follow it. We need more people to support these types of things so we can make this mainstream and so we can get all my treatments on label. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
All right, so that's the radio show. We're still on Instagram. Guys, hey, you have a lot of followers.